Welcome to our series, Questions from the Old Testament. Question number 2 we find in the book of Job, chapter 38. We'll read the entirety of chapter 38 to give a context to the question we're going to be asked today. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, "Who is this that darkens counsel by words without knowledge? Dress for action like a man. I will question you, and you make it known to me. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? On what were its bases sunk? Or who laid its cornerstone when the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who shut in the sea with doors when it burst out from the womb? When I made clouds its garment, and thick darkness its swaddling band, and prescribed limits for it, set bars and doors, and said, Thus far shall you come, and no farther, and here shall your proud waves be stayed. Have you commanded the morning since your days began, and caused the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the skirts of the earth, and the wicked be shaken out of it? It is changed like clay under the seal, and its features stand out like a garment. From the wicked their light is withheld, and their uplifted arm is broken. Have you entered the springs of the sea, or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been revealed to you, or have you seen the gates of the deep darkness? Have you comprehended the expanse of the earth? Declare if you know all this. Where is the way to the dwelling of light, and where is the place of darkness, that you may take it to its territory, that you may discern the paths to its home? You know, for you were born then, and the number of your days is great. Have you entered the storehouses of the snow, or have you seen the storehouses of the hail, which I have reserved for the time of trouble, for the day of battle and war? What is the way to the place where the light is distributed, or where the east wind is scattered upon the earth? Who has cleft the channel for the torrents of rain, and a way for the thunderbolt, to bring rain on a land where no man is, on the desert in which there is no man, to satisfy the waste and desolate land, to make the ground sprout with grass? Has the rain a father? Or who has begotten the drops of dew, from whom the womb did the ice come forth, and who has given birth to the frost of heaven? The waters become hard like stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades, or loose the cords of Orion? Can you lead forth the Mazzaroth in their season? Or can you guide the bear with its children? Do you know the ordinances of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? Can you lift up your voice to the clouds, that a flood of waters may cover you? Can you send forth lightnings, that they may go and say to you, Here we are? Who has put wisdom in the inward parts, or given understanding to the mind? Who can number the clouds by wisdom, or who can tilt the waterskins of the heavens, when the dust runs in a mass and clods stick fast together? Can you hunt the prey for the lion, or satisfy the appetite of the young lions, when they crouch in their dens, or lie in wait in their thicket? Who provides for the raven its prey when its young ones cry to God for help, and wander about for lack of food? Our question for the day is from Job 38, verse 4. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Over the years, I have listened to many people ponder those questions they will ask when they get to heaven. They really boil down to the mysteries here on earth. They range from things concerning biblical topics, what happened here, or where was so-and-so. They wonder if their pets are there. They wonder why things happen to them on earth. They wonder why things were allowed to happen here. Those how come questions. Some would want to know how God did all that he did in creation and continuing. No doubt the same questions most people want to know. There are the curiosity questions, and then there are the accusatory questions, as if we are going to interrogate God and put him on the stand and answer for all that he did or didn't do. That's the sense I get from this stream of nearly 100 questions God asks of Job. After listening to Job and all that he and others had to say on the subject of the meaning of life, God makes his appearance, so to speak, to Job. Instead of giving Job the answers to life, he proceeds to ask him questions. Notice God begins in verses 2 and 3, "Who is this who darkens counsel by words without knowledge? Now prepare yourself like a man. I will question you, and you will answer me." It is rather like a child being called into the principal's office. You know you're in trouble, and you're in for a lecture. When you look back at the dizzying amount of questions and accusations and suppositions thrown around by this time, one thing that you might remember is that Job actually wanted this moment with God. Turn back to Job 13, verses 20 and 22, and you read, "Only grant me two things, then I will not hide myself from your face. Withdraw your hand far from me, and let me not dread of your terrify. Then call, and I will answer. Or let me speak, and you reply to me." And again in Job 31:35, "Oh, that I had one to hear me. Here is my signature. Let the Almighty answer me. Oh, that I had the indictment written by my adversary." We sometimes refer to this as, "Be careful what you ask for. You just might get it." One can only imagine the scene as the Lord answers Job out of the whirlwind. One would think that this alone would make anyone listening aware of the awe and majesty of the one on high. In all of Job's talk, and Job does most of it in this book, his words did not clarify or rightly represent the Lord, but darkened or made cloudy God's omniscient ways. Now the Lord will demand of Job some answers. I can only imagine what Job must have thought when he was commanded, "Now prepare yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me." The very first question asked, "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth?" settles the discussion. The next 90 or so questions prove that Job had not the vision, wisdom, or insight of understanding required to organize and create a universe. In the same way that an adolescent may chide their parents for decisions they make, God shows Job over and over his inability to grasp just how complex this world is, and thereby understand that the Lord is in complete control. I wonder if I will remember this question the next time I have a question about how God is handling the world. And Lord willing, let's meet here again tomorrow for more questions from the Old Testament.